The American dream has always been about ordinary people doing extraordinary things through hard work, courage, and a willingness to start over. Tonight, we tell the true story of Maria Gonzalez, an immigrant woman from a small village in Mexico who turned struggle into success and became a living example of what is still possible in this country. Maria grew up in poverty, where her family survived on her father's low wages as a farm laborer. School was limited, electricity was unreliable, yet Maria loved reading whatever books came her way and dreamed of a life far beyond the fields. At age 22, after years of saving from small jobs, she bought a one-way ticket with just $200 in her pocket and arrived in Los Angeles in 1995. She spoke almost no English, had no family here, and carried only hope. New country, new rules. Naye mulk mein naye rules. That became her quiet mantra.
Her first months were brutal. Sharing a tiny apartment with 5 strangers, working 3 low-paying jobs, cleaning offices early mornings, waiting tables at night, and taking any extra shift she could find. She faced suspicion from some employers, cold stares on the street, and the constant weight of being labeled an outsider, even though she had entered legally. Holidays felt empty without her mother's cooking or her siblings' laughter. Yet Maria refused to let discouragement win. She enrolled in free English classes at the local community center, practiced conversations during breaks, and slowly began to understand the system around her. In her spare time, she started making tamales the way her grandmother taught her, authentic, flavorful, made with love. On weekends, she sold them at farmers markets, charging a few dollars each. People loved the taste and kept coming back. That small stand became the seed of everything that followed. Maria learned quickly that in America, your background does not have to limit your future. Your effort and choices can rewrite the story. She saved every penny, studied basic business skills through library books and free online videos, and networked with other immigrants who shared tips about loans, permits, and suppliers. Those early years taught her resilience, patience, and the power of small, consistent steps.
The middle chapter of Maria's journey was filled with both heartbreak and breakthrough moments that tested her dream again and again. Expanding from a market stall to a proper food truck required money she did not have, so she applied for her first small business loan. Her application was denied 3 times because she had no credit history in the United States. Rejection hurt, but she kept learning. She attended free workshops at the Small Business Administration, joined a women's entrepreneur group, and finally secured a microloan from a community lender that believed in her vision. In 2005, a fierce storm flooded her storage space and damaged the old truck she had bought secondhand. Savings vanished overnight. Many would have quit. Maria rebuilt. She worked double shifts to repair what she could, then launched again, this time with a better menu, brighter branding, and the name Maria's Authentic Flavors. Business grew slowly but steadily. Customers began requesting her tamales for parties. Offices ordered catering, and word of mouth spread. She married another hard-working immigrant, and soon they welcomed twin daughters. Balancing motherhood with long hours was exhausting. Late-night feedings, followed by early morning prep, diaper changes between customer lines, yet she never stopped moving forward. The 2008 recession hit hard. Sales dropped sharply and bills piled up. Once more, she adapted, launching an online ordering system and partnering with a regional grocery chain to sell frozen tamales on their shelves. That single deal changed everything. Revenue climbed, she hired her first employees, many of them recent immigrants like her, and created a small but loyal team. Success brought new challenges, too. Copycat competitors, trademark disputes, occasional online hate questioning whether she deserved to succeed in America. Through it all, Maria leaned on mentors, stayed focused on quality, and gave back by mentoring younger Latinas who dreamed of starting businesses. She proved that the American dream is not a straight line. It is a path full of detours, setbacks, and comebacks. Each obstacle taught her new rules of the game, and each victory built stronger foundations. Today, Maria Gonzalez stands as proof that the American dream is alive, inclusive, and still within reach for those willing to fight for it. By 2020, her company had grown into a national brand with products in major chains like Walmart and Whole Foods. She now employs over 100 people, many of whom started just like she did, new to the country, full of ambition. In 2015, Maria became a United States citizen in a ceremony she still describes as the proudest day of her life. She bought a home in the suburbs with a backyard where her children play, a stability she never knew growing up. Her story has been featured in Forbes. She received the Entrepreneur of the Year award from the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and she has spoken at universities across the country, inspiring students to chase bold goals. Yet Maria insists true success is measured by impact, not only income. She founded a scholarship fund that helps immigrant students attend college, donates regularly to organizations that support newcomers, and wrote a best-selling memoir called New Rules, New Success that shares practical lessons from her journey. Her message to every American watching is simple and powerful. This country is a canvas. Bring your colors, your culture, your work ethic, and paint something beautiful. Immigrants like Maria do not take opportunities away. They create them, start companies, pay taxes, hire workers, and enrich communities in countless ways. Her life echoes the journeys of so many who built this nation, from Einstein and Sergey Brin to the countless unnamed dreamers who arrived with little and left legacies that last. In a time when immigration debates fill the headlines, Maria's path reminds us that fair rules, hard work, and second chances can turn Naye mulk in Naye rules into Phir Kamyabi, then success. So if you are watching tonight and wondering whether your own dream is still possible, look at Maria Gonzalez. She started with $200, broken English, and unbreakable determination. She built an empire, a family, and a life of meaning. The American dream did not come to her. She went after it, step by step, year by year. And she is still writing the next chapter. Thank you for listening to her story. Wherever you are on your own journey, keep going. America is still the place where ordinary people can achieve the extraordinary. Share your dreams in the comments. We are all part of this America. The American dream isn't just a slogan. It's a living, breathing promise that ordinary people with extraordinary determination can rewrite their futures, no matter where they start. Tonight, we share the deeply personal and powerful story of Maria Gonzalez, a woman from a humble village in rural Mexico who arrived in America with little more than courage, a few family recipes, and an unbreakable will to build something lasting. Born in the 1970s in a small community where dirt roads connected modest adobe homes, Maria was the eldest of 7 siblings. Her father labored long days in the fields for pennies. Her mother sold handmade tortillas and tamales at the local market to keep food on the table. School was sporadic. Maria often missed classes to help at home, but she soaked up every lesson she could, especially in the kitchen, where her abuela taught her the secrets of authentic Mexican flavors, the perfect masa, the slow-roasted chiles, the love folded into every bite. From a young age, Maria dreamed bigger than her surroundings. She watched American movies on a borrowed TV, saw the gleaming cities and endless opportunities, and whispered to herself, "One day, I'll make it there." At 22, after years of saving every cent from sewing clothes, cleaning houses, and helping her mother sell food, she gathered $300, said tearful goodbyes to her family, and boarded a bus to the border, then a plane to Los Angeles in 1995. She spoke broken English, carried a small suitcase with her grandmother's recipe notebook, and stepped into a new world full of unknowns. Ne mulk me, ne rules. She repeated it like a prayer as she navigated the airport, the crowded streets, the cold stairs. Her first night was spent on a thin mattress in a shared apartment with 6 other newcomers, the sounds of traffic and distant sirens replacing the quiet crickets of home.
Those early years tested Maria in ways she never imagined. She worked relentlessly. Dawn shifts cleaning high-rise offices, afternoons at a laundromat folding clothes, evenings waiting tables at a small diner where tips were meager and customers sometimes spoke slowly as if she couldn't understand. Language barriers made simple things hard. Ordering groceries, filling out forms, asking for directions. She faced prejudice, too. Employers who assumed she was just another illegal, landlords who charged extra for the risk, neighbors who whispered when she spoke Spanish on the phone to her worried mother. Loneliness hit hardest during Christmas and Dia de los Muertos. No posadas, no family altar, just her alone with memories and a single candle. But Maria turned pain into fuel. She enrolled in night classes at a community college, practicing English with flashcards during bus rides, learning accounting basics from free library books. On weekends, she revived her grandmother's tamales, making dozens by hand in that tiny shared kitchen, wrapping them in corn husks with care. She sold them at weekend flea markets and swap meets, standing for hours in the sun, calling out tamales frescos, authentic Mexican. Customers, first curious locals, then regulars from nearby offices, raved about the smoky chipotle flavor, the tender pork, the hint of cinnamon that reminded them of home. Word spread. That small operation became her lifeline, bringing in extra cash and a spark of pride. Maria saved obsessively, dreaming of her own cart or truck. She joined immigrant support groups where women shared stories of loans, permits, and pitfalls. She learned the new rules: build credit slowly, network relentlessly, never stop learning. One mentor, an older Latina business owner, told her, "America doesn't give you the dream, you take it, piece by piece." Maria listened, adapted, and kept going. The heart of Maria's story lies in the long, grueling middle years, when dreams collide with reality and true character emerges. In 2003, she finally bought a beat-up food cart with savings and a small loan from a community lender who saw her potential. Maria's authentic tamales rolled onto the streets of East LA, serving lunch crowds with lines forming before noon. But growth brought storms. A health inspection failed because of minor code issues she didn't understand. Fines ate her profits. A supplier raised prices overnight, squeezing margins. In 2005, a brutal rainstorm flooded her storage unit, ruining ingredients and equipment worth months of work. She cried that night, doubting everything, but the next morning she borrowed a friend's van, sourced replacements on credit, and reopened. Her twins arrived in 2007, beautiful daughters who brought joy but doubled the pressure. Maria breastfed between orders, prepped dough at 3 a.m. while they slept, balanced diapers and deliveries. By the 2020s, Maria's journey had blossomed into something extraordinary, a full-circle triumph that inspires everyone watching. Maria's authentic flavors grew into a beloved brand, multiple food trucks across California, products in major chains like Whole Foods and Target, online sales shipping nationwide. Annual revenue crossed millions, employing over 120 people, many first-generation immigrants she helped with paperwork, English classes, even small loans.
In 2015, after years of legal steps, Maria raised her right hand and became a U.S. citizen in a packed courtroom, tears streaming as her family cheered. She bought a home in the suburbs, a place with a garden where her daughters played, a far cry from the village dirt floors. Accolades followed, featured in Forbes as a top Latina entrepreneur, awarded by the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, invited to speak at universities about resilience and opportunity. She wrote her memoir, New Rules, New Success, sharing raw truths, the fear, the fatigue, the joy of proving doubters wrong. Philanthropy became her mission, a scholarship fund for immigrant students, partnerships with food banks, programs teaching business skills to women in shelters. Maria's daughters, now in college, help run parts of the company, carrying the legacy forward.
Her story echoes countless others. Women like Romana Bañuelos, who built tortilla empires, or modern vendors who turned street carts into chains, proving immigrants fuel America's innovation and heart. In a nation debating borders and belonging, Maria reminds us the American dream thrives on diversity. Newcomers bring flavors, ideas, work ethic that enrich us all. They don't take, they create jobs, pay taxes, build communities. To anyone watching who feels stuck, who doubts if their dream is possible, Maria started with $300, broken English, and fear in her heart. She faced rejection, loss, exhaustion, but she adapted, persisted, gave back. Phir, Kamyabi, then success, came not by luck, but by daily choice. America is still that canvas. Bring your colors, your culture, your grit, and paint boldly. The dream isn't dead. It's waiting for those brave enough to chase it. Thank you for joining Maria's journey. Share your own story below. We're all writing the next chapter together.